So this is what my video is about. Water. I've done them over the period of time, a little bit of water change stuff, but I'll put all that back in there. There's a lot of stuff raging on social media at the moment, and a lot of nasty things actually being said about people who've made comments about water changes. I probably shouldn't weigh in on it and put my 2 bobs worth in, but I don't think I'll be too divisive over it. I can only tell you what I do. Everybody is different. So as long as you aren't bagging other YouTubers, bagging other people with their fish keeping styles, I think you're allowed your opinion. And I have cold water fish, I have tropical fish, I have outside ponds, I have ponds aquariums inside, I have ponds with plants, ponds without plants, aquariums with plants, aquariums without plants. I grow them from the top, I grow them inside. They all change the way you do water changes. Before we go any further, I have to say one thing though. I never ever said that I was an expert, but I've been doing goldfish and fancy goldfish for a long time. If you do not do water changes on your goldfish, they will end up with nasty ammonia burns, parasites. You must do water changes on goldfish, people. If you've got them in an outside system, in a big pond, and you've got a lot of plants, filtration, air, you could probably get away with top-ups, especially if there's a lot of green water in there. Because as we know, green water, goldfish love green water. But if you're going to attempt to have goldfish and not do water changes, they will die, and it won't be a nice death for them either. But then let's get to other stuff. A lot of people are saying if you have plants that are in there, in the aquariums, you don't got to do water changes. And to the big part, that's right, because you look at some of the beautiful scapes that people do, and if you have a low fish or a shrimp, they'll get along absolutely fine in there, and people just top up their tanks and can get away with that. But it's all to do with parameters. If you're checking your water regularly, you've got good pH, the ammonia's low, all the other parameters are nice. If you just want to do top-ups, your fish are healthy, you do that then. Because I know for a fact, I struggled with shrimp for a while, until I come to the realisation, shrimp that I know don't overlike water changes or big water changes. That's what I've worked out. It may be different to you. Don't come at me because I say that. It may be different for you. But for me, they get a lot of biofilm and all your good stuff builds up in there, a little bit of maturity to your tank. So I basically say once a week, I might do that much in a 20 litre, might. Or I just top it up because I've got a mark where I go to and I'll just top it up. And sometimes I use normal water that's dechlorinated overnight, or I might use RO water depending on where the TDS is. You know, so I don't want it too high. But my TDS is reasonably high here. And I do Caridina and Neocaridina, and mine fluctuates between 400 and 500. Everybody will tell you that's wrong, but I can show you crystal blacks with little baby fry in there and all that. So a lot of, definitely shrimp don't like changes. Sometimes if you're doing things that aren't quite right and if they're living in it and happy, as long as you don't change those parameters too quick, they will be fine. Just don't shock them too quick. But most things are like that too. They just don't like being shot. Let's go for a bit of a walk, and I'll explain a little bit more what I do when it comes to water changes. I'm far from anti-water change. I do probably more than I should sometimes, especially on a big system. Now, this big system here, say holds 6,000 litres, just this for the adult breeders goldfish. Now, I normally drain one of these, it's nearly 1,000 litres a week. So effectively I'm doing, about a 20%. Really, for goldfish you want to be doing more than that. But I've got a Dirty Great big swell filter and biofilter there, and they've got drainage too. I open the drainage and some of the muck goes out from there. These have got big drainages on the bottom that also go out, the pipe work you see run through there out the garden. So I get away with that. A couple of weeks ago I dropped 2,000 litres off and done 2,000 litres. And it's also to do with spurring. If I know there's a storm coming and the barometric pressure changes and that pushes down on the water and it gets the goldfish going, I'll do a big water change. And I'll even bring the garden hose in. Luckily I've got huge big water tanks here, rainwater tanks, and sometimes I'll put RO water in there, rainwater, just to get them going. Right, so most of my water changes on the goldfish is because I have to do water changes on goldfish, and it helps get them going for spawning. Now we've got Medaka here. Medaka rice fish, low bio load. We've got shrimp in there, you can see them, and we've got cherry blacks in there, blue dreaming in there, two different sorts of strains of Medaka rice fish. They don't need water changes. Top ups, that's all Medaka need. They don't even need air if you don't want it. And that suits shrimp. Shrimp and Medaka fish live hand in hand, that's my opinion. These ones here, there's heaps of baby plecos in here, as in bristle nose. Got to get that right, people. So they do need water changes for growth. Alright, there's just heaps of baby goldfish in here, all growing up. They're on the big system, so they get a water change with the big system. Now these here, I probably should do water changes a little bit more often on them. There's heaps of baby goldfish in there, more so fry, not babies. Butterfly telescope there, little calico. Right, I normally do once a fortnight on the big black moors. They'll get about 50 cent once a fortnight. Does help with these plants being in here. You have plants in here, as I said, it'll help big time. Once again, they'll get a 50%. The Ranchu butterfly telescopes once a week to once a fortnight. Now we've got swordtails, peppers, peppercorns, and danios. Now, you probably won't see, but back over in the corner there's all eggs. Now I've took a spawner mop out this morning, and the peppercorns have laid in there everywhere. And why did they lay in there everywhere? Because it was either yesterday or the day before, I went down to here and stuck in a heap of rainwater. And they went berserk, and they've spawned. Key thing is, if you want to spawn, water changes. You can see this root system here, that's sucking all the bad. So everybody goes, oh, how do you keep your aquariums water so clean? They're the things that keep it clean. I can check these water parameters and not have to do water changes. But if you lived in there and if you were a fish, wouldn't you want a nice bit of clean water? I would. So for spawning, 100%. Rosy barbs, absolutely love it. They love water, and then they go off the next day. Or should I say, whether I do a water change or not, the bastards breed anyway. Sorry for swearing, but yeah. Same here. Well, this tank isn't doing as well as I want it to do. Lots of yellow shrimp. I don't do big water change on this one, only about 10%, simply because there's shrimp in there, and as I said, I find the shrimp don't like huge water changes, but there's heaps of people on YouTube that do big water changes for shrimp, and that's fine, because that's working for you. Well, these get about 20% a week, and have a look at these blue musco. That spurs them on for breeding, and there's no real plants in here other than the bigger plants that come out there, so they haven't got a lot of coverage, but they don't predate on their babies that much. They go really well. 24 karat gold, same thing, they're breeding along nicely. Because of the shrimp in here, and I've got literally hundreds of green shrimp, literally hundreds of them, I only do about 10, maybe 20%. And there's the marbles, there's a few in there. My better fish, he doesn't want to breed at the moment, he's hiding, he's scared of the female, I think. I don't know much about the yo-yo lakes, but I think that one's a lot fatter and bigger than the other one, so it might be a male and female. I don't know how they breed. I don't know if they lay eggs, look after them, what, in a cave. You might be able to let me know. But that's just had a bit of medication because there was some angelfish eggs in there, but I think the king tiger plecos ate them. These ones are doing real well. Alright, we're getting off the beaten track of the water changes. Anyway, so I just check my parameters, and if my parameters are stable and fine, half the time, 10-15% a week, and that's normally because I breed for profit. So just to spur on a bit of breeding. So I tried these ones, put some rainwater in there. I don't think it over affected those lads, the pandas. Might be getting a little bit cooler temperature now. There's another Medaka. They only just get a once a week. I might take out a litre or 2 litres, put in there. Heap of baby plecos. For growing out, you've got to do some water changes on them for growing out. You can't successfully breed and get things growing properly and feed them if you're not going to do water changes, as in the sense for baby stuff. Lots of young Medaka rice fish in here with the golden bee. I don't know if you can see right back at on the down there, just from the middle there, there's a little shrimplet. That's crystal black, and that TDS is about nearly 450. Haven't done well with the crystal reds, but everything else I have loads of orange-eyed blue tigers. So yeah, they don't get a lot of water change, 10% every now and then. But anyway, that's a bit of an overlook. The pond's outside. I won't take you out there today, but I only do top-ups on ponds. That's all they need to do. So that's my opinion on doing water changes. I think it all boils down to everybody to their own. If it's successful for you, keep doing what you're doing. If it's not successful, possibly change then. Look at actually doing it a different way. But if you want to grow and have plants in your aquarium, my opinion is if you want them in your aquarium and you're not putting any additives in to make all your plants grow or stuff, it's hard to grow plants on top. But they're the things that help you not to do water changes, is plants. Alright then, that's my opinion. This is Jeff from Goldfish with Ghost Aquariums, and if you'd like to subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and like, I'd appreciate it, and maybe you can give me your opinion on water changes. But let's just do it in an orderly fashion, not what I've been seeing in America. Some of their stuff is getting quite hateful over there. Hell, people, it's only water changes. Let's all get on. Let's all help each other. Let's see you later.